yes. Pochettino is to blame. Pochettino is to blame. Now, you know, for Chelsea's poor form, I know lots of you want to say it's the fault of the board or the way they've recruited. They signed young players they signed young players who lack experience, and the players on the pitch haven't been producing it. So for me, for level of blame, Pochettino takes 80%, 80% of the blame, and then in this context, 20% goes to the players, 100%. One thing we seem to forget when we talk about football is it's a young man's game. At 30, you're already considering retirement. Then with the advancement of modern science, sports science, nutrition, and all that, you're seeing players playing up to 32, 33, 34. Some even stretching it up to 39, like um, natural anomalies or like Thiago Silva, who are just super seem to have some supernatural force over them, making he keeps performing despite his age. But otherwise, sport, football in this context especially, is a young man's game. You know, from your when you're 19, 20 till 30s, that's where the bulk of your career is played as a as a football player. So I get to 20, 21, 22. The young, they lack experience in certain quarters, but that is not enough excuse. You know, what you lack in experience, you make up for in fearlessness, in aggressiveness, in stamina. With relentlessness, but we don't see those in this. And we have not seen those this season so far. And then why I say Pochettino has to bear the bulk of the blame. One, when the team does well, in the few instances where this team has performed well against Spurs with a 4-1 win, against Man City with the impressive home draw, 4-4 draw, everyone was up, praising Pochettino masterclass. Oh, Pochettino masterclass. He's beginning to mold his side into what he wants. So you can't now turn around when the team loses to say, oh no, it must be just the players. Oh, it's the owners. Oh, because they didn't sign an experienced 28-year-old striker. Or they didn't sign an experienced 30-year-old midfielder. That would help. But first off, you have to get how you want to play right. You have to be able to read a game whilst you've come up with your starting 11, read the game, and then make changes. And I've said it, the way you start as a team, the way you start as a team is very important for every game. Even if you're playing against a side, your Premier League side, playing against a League Two side, if you start slow, if you start tepid, if you start like you're, scared of some ghost, then you may end up losing that game. And that's what happened. That's what happened against Manchester United. Very poor display, very poor display. The way the team started, and this has been a running team. That's why I said the buck right now is on, has to stop at Mauricio Pochettino's table. It has to stop at this table. Because it seems to be a running team. The team seems to always start slow. You don't have any aggressive start. You don't have any relentless start. You don't have any fearless start. You don't have players going in and getting stuck in early. And in this game is the weirdest style or weirdest way I've ever seen a team attempt to play out from the back. Because moments in the game, I had noticed Manchester United would be setting up a ridiculously high line. But rather than play the ball quickly in behind the Manchester United back line, what you have is you have the players, they must pass the ball back, get the ball to the goalkeeper, and Sanchez always flop, always flopped those back passes. And the fact that they always went back to him meant that that was an instruction from the coach. When we build up, we'll build up from the back. And when we're doing that, we must get the ball to the goalkeeper, Rob Sanchez, to play that from the back. So that was one mistake. The second one, again, why I say Mauricio Pochettino is to blame or has the lion's share of the blame for Chelsea was this season. He always does something to weaken the side. In addition to the weird way the team played out from the back, was Enzo Fernandez seemed to be lost. He seemed to be lost. There was no connection between Enzo Fernandez and the attacking midfield, that's Cole Palmer, and not the attack, not even with the defense. So moments where um, it was obvious that Robert Sanchez was struggling to play the ball out from the back, I would have expected, Mauricio Pochettino to say, okay, Enzo, drop back and get the ball off the defenders and put the ball in. Because when you have the keeper playing out from the back, what you have is you have the players with their back to the opposition goal. And that's what players like Amrabat loved. Made Palmer look like he wasn't existing because Palmer is a player with guile, with skill, with technique. But one thing he doesn't have, he's fast, but he's not electric and he's not robust. He's not powerfully built. He's not, a Drogba. He doesn't have a low center of gravity. He's not, even as for a tall lad, he's not like tall, big, and muscular. So guys like Amrabat would surely muscle him off the ball. So when you have him with his back to goal, what do you expect? Once the ball comes in, he can't turn because Amrabat will be on him. Amrabat will be on him. So, and that was a running team. It never changed all through the game. All through the game. So yet again, the blame on Pochettino. 80% of the blame I say on Pochettino. Leave the board out of this. Leave the board out of this. Because you want to tell me if Chelsea side Victor Osimhen and Mauricio Pochettino continues to set up the team wrongly, you want to tell me that the team would win games? That would help you see improvement in quality of the players. But then again, you will still have the problem of the team being set up wrongly. Or what if Mauricio Pochettino decides that, okay, I'm going to play with 4 centre backs today again? Or I'm going to play with 4 central midfielders and have no wingers? The bulk of the blame, 80% of the blame, is on his table. Now, we move on to the next, because the players share 20% of the blame in this context. The board, some other time. We'll talk about them some other time. Decisions they've made, how they sign players, whether they should sign more experienced players. You can go to Wayne Stanley, and talk about those ones. But right now, this game, 80% of the blame, Mauricio Pochettino. 20% of the blame, the players. The players. The Manchester United game was such a poor game with respect to decision making in the final third. Manchester United dominated possession, no doubt, fair dues, but had opportunity to take the lead even before Manchester United did. Now let's start with Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson has a problem. He's like the anti-Werner. Werner had the problem of anytime he had too much time on the ball, he would make the wrong decision. But when it comes to Nicholas Jackson, he wants too much time on the ball as opposed to Werner that would rather prefer just the ability to make the shot quickly. But Nicholas Jackson, game in, game out, game in, game out. He wants time on the ball. It's like he wants 5 working days on the ball before he takes a shot, before he makes a decision on the ball. And at this level of football, you're never going to get that opportunity. You will never get that opportunity. And certainly not in the Premier League. You will never get it. Time on the ball, you will never get it. He had an opportunity, 1v1, slot the ball quickly into the near post. No. He wanted to do something strange, go around the goalkeeper to where the goalkeeper was actually diving at. That's where he went to. Decision making as well. Nicholas Jackson After the Man City game, I felt like, okay, yes, he's now beginning to learn with the way he took that goal against Manchester City. He showed a pure striker's instinct, finishing the rebound. But then it's like one step forward and 20 steps behind. I'm not even exaggerating at this point because he should have taken that goal, but he fluffed it. He fluffed it. He wanted so much time on the ball. Like I said, he wanted 5 working days on the ball to consider the shot, and then maybe an additional 5 working days on the ball to then decide what angle to put the ball in. That was just absolute ridiculous. Now we go on to Mikhailo Mudrik. For a player who's has so much speed, he is just he has no control. He has next to no control. And his decision making as well is as poor as they come. It's as poor as they come. You know, once just on a counter attack, you had two defenders more towards the direction of Sterling, and then you had Nicholas Jackson free on the left side. Play the ball in there. No, I'm going to pass a very sloppy pass to Sterling. That can't even make it 2 inches. The pass got intercepted. The pass gets intercepted. Then that's another chance gone. Okay, there's an opportunity. He's running at the Manchester United defense with his pace, impressive pace. And then what does he do? He takes an extra touch and runs the ball, almost out of the Old Trafford. Mhm. Poor. Enzo Fernandez, wow. Enzo Fernandez was as useful as, a packet of crisp in the match. It was as useful as a packet of crisp. It's just like if you had gone into the stadium and took a packet of crisp and dropped it on the top. That was that part of crisp would have as much usefulness as Enzo Fernandez. Pochettino has some part to play in that, but Fernandez couldn't make a pass to save his life. He couldn't make any sort of accurate pass to save his life. He couldn't. Caicedo was all over the shop. And then Rich James, I don't know whether I'll give him an out in this one, but he was also terrible as well. When he came on for Cucurella, and I wonder why Cucurella was taken off. He was taken off, and then Rich James came, and he was worse. He was worse than Cucurella. Let's be real. He's a wonderful player, fantastic player. Any other game, you take him ahead of Cucurella, especially in the right back position. But no, he was useless. To be honest, this is just a fair assessment. He was useless on the day. World class every other day, but on that day at Old Trafford, the Premier League game, he was useless, absolutely useless on that right back position. Probably he had come in and the whole team had gone bananas, so he probably, was just playing as bad as everyone else. Maybe monkey see, monkey do. Maybe that's what it is. Or he wasn't good himself. And Sanchez, he made some good saves because it actually could have been worse. And why it's annoying losing against this Manchester United side, there is a side where every team has beat this season. Every team what their salt has smashed Manchester United to bits. And then you go up against them, you not only lose, because this is professional sports, you lose some, you win some, I guess, but you lose in the manner that you lose, making Manchester United look like prime AC Milan under Baresi, or prime Real Madrid, or prime Barcelona. The Pep Barcelona side, where they could hold the ball for a good 80 minutes and you don't see the ball. That's how Chelsea made Manchester United look. That was just an unforgivable performance. An unforgivable performance. And back to the point of Mauricio Pochettino. The way he sets up the team is so bad. I don't know what he tells them in the dressing room, because they go in the dressing room playing bad and then they come out playing even worse. And that was the team again against Manchester United. Now, am I saying he should be sacked? No, I'm not saying he should be sacked. But if he's sacked, I wouldn't even mind. I wouldn't. I wouldn't go, oh, why did you sack him? No, I wouldn't. Because I know the Premier League, and the media has brainwashed players brainwashed players, not players really, but brainwashed fans to feel like, oh, coaches don't get sacked. It must be a 10-year project. Other leagues, Serie A, La Liga, you're coaching the top sides, you're managing the top sides. You don't perform, you are gone. Once you don't perform, cheerio, goodbye, go home. It's all over, you're gone. But here, it must be a 5-year project, 10-year project. You can't hit the ground running. Look at Aston Villa um, and the new manager, Unai Emery. Instantly, he came in and immediately you saw the difference. Instantly, De Zerbi, Brighton, instantly the difference. You saw the difference instantly. You didn't have to wait for 20 centuries before you actually saw the difference. You actually saw his impact on the team. Now, Nkunku still not fit enough to play against Everton. Lavi is still not fit enough. But the problem is, why I say it's back on Mauricio Pochettino's table is, what if you have all these players fit and then he has Nkunku playing as a right winger or a left winger, or he has Lavia playing as an 8? Because these are subtle nuances that, when I say this, I'm just a fan. I'm a fan who has suddenly started doing YouTube videos. Can you imagine what a UEFA badge licensed coach would do? How quickly they'll be able to notice all these flaws, tactical flaws in the team. If I've just watched football, I'm just a fan of the team, watched football for decades now, but that doesn't make me a coach. I haven't gone to do any sort of training. So can you imagine? Can you think for a second? Imagine what an actual licensed manager with any sort of experience would do to this team. How quickly they would be able to notice the tactical flaws. So for me, I say it again, this game, 80% of the blame lies on Mauricio Pochettino's table. And for the way the season has gone, 80% of the blame, that's for him. Leave the board out of this. Leave the players out of this. They have to share their a part of the blame. Like I say, in this instance, 20% of the blame lies at the feet of the players. But 80%, a large percentage of the blame goes to Mauricio Pochettino. I'm sorry. One thing, this is a message not just to Chelsea fans, but for all other fans. Can we just agree that managers managing teams for 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, that's something for Manchester United and Arsenal fans to have in their archive? That's something for them. That's something they should be gloating about. Oh, we've had managers that manage our team for 10 years, for 20 years, 15 years, long projects. And what people forget as well is that they were winning. And once, for instance, Arsenal stopped winning, what happened to Arsene Wenger? So you so the issue of keeping a coach for however how long, no matter how long it's going, is just silly talk as far as I'm concerned. If he's not doing it, maybe he should go. I'm not saying he should be sacked, but if he's sacked, I wouldn't really be bothered. I wouldn't really care about it. Because he's shooting himself in the foot with the way he sets up the team, especially when you're playing against sides that you should beat. No, so well, let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on this. Do you think I'm completely wrong, only saying nonsense, and you think maybe Pochettino shouldn't be blamed? Maybe Bowley, the recruitment, the way the board has recruited players this season, maybe that's what you think the problem is. Let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know if you think the players should bear more of the blame. Let me know as well. So while you're here, just to support me, not because you enjoy what's going on, on the pitch, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video as well. So once again, we've come to the end of today's video, and I'd like to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you on yet another video that will most likely be the review of the Chelsea versus Everton game that will be taking place on Sunday. So have a spectacular day and have a good evening to rest.